What's going on, everybody? This is Goofy Rexy. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 characters. Now, we're going to be breaking this down by class today. So the top 5 controller characters that you should be investing your ISOs into. And I actually have my guy here today that I'm going to be doing this with. Thorn, what's going on, brother? Say what up to the people, man.
Hey, guys. Good to be back. And yeah, we get to discuss controllers today.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing controllers on my channel, and then we're going to switch over sometime later on. We're going to be talking about we're going to be doing some support characters on your channel.
Yeah, that's right. Controllers on yours, support on.
Yeah, controllers on mine, support on yours. So these are characters. Well, let's preface it by saying this. These are characters that, for the most part, this is how I'm using my roster. So these are what I believe the top 5 are based on my usage. You know, so it may change, it may vary. So this is kind of just to give you a kind of particular guide into kind of the top characters by class that you should be investing your ISOs into. So I actually have my list. It's ready to go. Let's talk about it right now. And I got to pull it up. The first character for me, is Hela. So for me, Hela is she's 89K. She's actually my highest character, like my highest rated character, you know, on my roster right now at 89K. I use her absolutely everywhere. The only place that I actually don't use her right now is in or on my arena team. Actually, no, that's a lie. I actually just started using her on my arena team. I use her with Black Bull, with Emma, with Phoenix, and with Maul. They're a phenomenal team. I'm staying in the low hundreds, nothing crazy, but for me, she's a top 5 character that you should, from a controller perspective, that you should absolutely be investing, you know, your ISOs into. I actually have the Raider ISO on her. She's at level 3. Most of my characters, by the way, I max them out. Most of the characters that I put ISOs into, I max them out at level 3. But yeah, man, I mean, I think Hela's just a really good character. Usable everywhere, usable in Dark Dimension 3, usable in, you know, Dark Dimension 2 if you haven't gotten there yet, usable in, you know, other areas of the game, raids, arena. So for me, she's a top 5, you know, character that should definitely get, you know, ISOs put on her.
Yeah, I agree. She's still a very strong character. I mean, there's probably some people that might say she's starting to drop off, but her kit is still a very decent kit. The fact that she can spread all those debuffs, and there's a lot of characters now come out with different sorts of debuffs, and she just spreads it all. So she's still very viable and very useful indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I mean, I use her everywhere. Now, this list is not in any particular order, so I'm not saying that she's like the number 1 character that you have to invest into. These are in no particular order. You know, this is just a character that I use a lot that I think, you know, definitely should get ISOs, you know, invested into her. Like I said, the spreading of the debuffs. She still does a ton of damage. Greg is still, in my personal opinion, the best, one of the best tanks in the game. So
Greg is MVP.
Right, Greg is 100% MVP, man. So invest your ISOs into Hela. Invest your ISOs into Hela. Next on my list here is the Queen, the Ice Queen, you know, or you know, herself, or the Frost Queen, whatever, the Diamond Queen, whatever you want to call her, guys. The Diamond Queen, Emma Frost, man. I mean, she is, for me, in my personal opinion, probably 1 and 2 in terms of like maybe probably the top character in the game. You know, at this point, she just does so much. I actually have a striker ISO on her, mainly because of her basic ability where she flips or clears debuffs. It depends. You know, she flips or clears debuffs. So I love the striker on her. I have, as you can see, 3 T4s invested into her. So I definitely also got to have my ISOs into her too. She's just such a good character, Thorn. You know, what's your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, she's probably my favorite character at the moment in the game. I use her everywhere, to be honest. Arena, raids, obviously war, she's on defense. She's just so versatile. The mind control has got to be the best move in game. Even if your enemies are much stronger than you, she's just going to control 2 of them and take someone out. It's just, yeah, it's she's just crazy good, and I would definitely have her in my top 5 for controllers as well. And I've done the same as you, level 3 striker, and that's and like you said, generally I take characters that I want to build to at least level 3 because decent benefit for not much, cost per ion.
Yeah, because those irons are so expensive. They're scarce and they're also expensive. Just to bring up to level 3. I mean, they're so expensive. They are the fusion costs. And then of course, upgrading each level. So I mean, good God Almighty, you want to make sure that you kind of can spread it around to your other great characters, man. So yeah, Emma, like I said, Emma for me, definitely a top 5 character that you should invest, your ISOs into here. All right, ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, so next one on the list for me, you guys know me. I have a strong infatuation here with Venom. Don't judge me. He's a great character. Just don't judge me. But Venom, man, for me is just like he's an underrated character. He does so many good things. The spreading of debuffs, the ability block, and then of course with being able to flip, those positive effects on the enemy again. That's the reason why I think he's a top character that you absolutely should be investing your ISOs into, just based on that main ability, based on that basic ability there alone. Getting him to be able to hit twice, when somebody is vulnerable, I think is extremely valuable. I have level 3 on him, level 3 striker. For me, he's my favorite character really to use on that symbiote team. I love symbiote Spider-Man, but Venom is the absolute favorite character that I could use, on that symbiote team.
Oh yeah, I mean, the whole symbiote team is at the moment there. Actually lived up to the hype, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
pretty rare considering Scopely and how they hype up certain teams. So the fact that this team actually does well is really good. And I usually say with ISOs, so you could probably be flexible in terms of which class you put on characters, but that striker class is probably hands down his best class, and that's exactly because of what you mentioned. He strips buffs with his basic, and doing that twice on a particular character is clutch.
Yeah, he's flipping them. Yeah. He's flipping them. So
no, he's not. So yeah, he's flipping them.
He's flipping them, applying bleeds. So I mean, you're getting a double chance of being able to apply multiple bleeds. It's without question, he's such a top character. The symbiote team is a high usage team. So having Striker on him, he's 100% one of the top 5 characters to invest, your ISOs into. All right, next on the list is Proxima. So I'll be honest, I have not invested in terms of like gear tier level and leveling as much as I would like to with Proxima. She's a character that I actually hope to be able to take to Dark Dimension 3 soon. But I got so many other things to work on. I'm still trying to get to Doom Chapter 1, so I'm kind of like prolonging things here. But Proxima, great. She's not an underrated toon, but she's not talked about enough. I think her skill set was really good. Once again, she's another one of those clearing debuffs characters. Giving offense down to, she's also, I have a skirmisher, level 3 skirmisher on her. The combination between her and Corvus, the triple taps. God, I mean, she's just such a good not underrated, but she's a good character. I love Proxima, and I know you probably share some same sentiment with me too as well when it comes to Proxima.
Yeah, the whole team is amazing, and that's why she's probably kind of overshadowed, because you've got Thanos, you've got Ebony, you've got Cole that kind of take the limelight.
Right.
But as far as what she does, she's probably she is one of the quickest characters in the game. She's incredibly quick, and she's applying offense down before most other characters take a turn with that special of hers, which comes in very handy depending on the game mode you're in. And you got that stun as well on her ult, and basic with the assists from Corvus, you're getting that double, sometimes triple, depending on the ISO consideration. You're stripping buffs, so she's a very good character, just not spoken as much because of her teammates, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to kind of get the same recognition when you got Maw and Thanos and Cole, right? But yeah, definitely still the team overall, great team to invest your ISOs. I've seen people because of Arena, because they're such a strong team in Arena. Not much, they don't hold much on defense, but because they're such a strong team offensively in Arena, you see a lot of people investing level 5 ISOs into the entire team. So yeah, man, Proxima top 5, 100%. I agree. Putting ISOs into her. All right, last character on the list here for me is going to be Black Widow. Now, we were talking about this before we started the recording. We were kind of struggling to try to find like the 5th character, that would make sense to put ISOs on. And we kind of settled. There was a lot of other options, which we'll talk about right after this. But I think we settled on Black Widow because she's now gotten a rework, right? She's going to be getting another rework potentially when, the new movie comes out. The new Black Widow movie comes out. And she's kind of made like a resurgence. That entire team, the Wave 1 Avengers team, has kind of made a resurgence now. And once again, kind of the same thing, right? The skirmisher, striker combo. Love the striker combo on her, just because of that, once again, that basic ability, which we probably should have pulled this up on some of the other characters we were talking about them. But once again, being able to clear, positive effects from a target, being able to do that once again twice, with her and once again Hawkeye. It's just, I think she's a top character to invest your ISOs into. I still haven't even finished her off yet, which I'm working on currently right now, and because I'm working on the Doom campaign. Another character, in my opinion, that really does a lot of good things that maybe kind of goes unsung, just because of where she was before, in terms of the falling from grace, in a sense, from what she was before, in the game.
Yeah, Black Widow is, like you said, we spoke a lot about the 5th choice, and
yeah,
we could have put a blanket over quite a few number of characters, but she probably takes the pick for me as well. She was a character that was meta during beta and global launch because of the whole speed up. Being a turn-based game, having speed up was pretty important. Then she kind of fell off, but now with the rework, I think she's a strong character. The striker class not only does it strip the buffs, but also it gives her extra damage, which makes her bleeds from her ultimate do even more damage as well. So yeah, she's her and the Wave 1 Avengers have probably my favorite team at the moment. I've been leveling them up. Yeah, they can take out some pretty interesting defenses in war. Some people will even chuck them on defense themselves, and they're pretty hard to take out. So quite flexible. And yeah, like you said, there's rumors of another rework as well. So who knows, how much better she gets as well. So yeah, that's my 5th as well.
Yeah, she's a beast. I mean, that Wave 1 Avengers team is a beast. I think a lot of people now are using the Coulson Avengers team, or I've heard people using Coulson Avengers, or they're throwing in Thor with the Avengers and kind of switching up the Asgardian team a little bit. So yeah, I mean, she's a top character. Definitely should invest some ISOs into. We had a few other characters that we could have mentioned. We won't go into detail, but we thought about. Obviously, we left Phoenix off this list just because of the whole Dark Phoenix not really gaining the ISOs, so not really finding the value there. Star-Lord, I have level 3 on him just because I have him he's at 80k, and he's actually a team that does really well for me right now with kind of like the Tech Nova team for me on defense in war. So there's value there. We talked about Magneto. We talked about Scream even, but Scream, I think from a perspective of, I still think that the top symbiotes, in my opinion, are still Symbiote, Spider-Man, Carnage, and Venom. So for me, I think I kind of took Scream off the list a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there were a few other characters that we flirted with in terms of options that you could put ISOs on. But I feel like for me, this top 5 list right here, Hela, Emma, Venom, Proxima, Black Widow are probably the best options, that we could go with here. So yeah, I think we did pretty good on this list, Norm. I think we did pretty good.
I think we did. I think that's a very strong top 5 right there.
Absolutely. But listen, guys, my list, we're going to be talking about Thorn's list when it comes to support characters just in a little bit here. So go check out his channel. Make sure you guys go show some love and support. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. We love you. As I always say, guys, be blessed and be safe.